Hi everyone, welcome to Africa and Everywhere Conversations with Oge. It's your host, Oge Elumelu, and today I'm excited to introduce our special guest. She's an auntie of mine, but a lot of you know her as a producer, actress, perfumer, author, and we have Omoni Oboli with us. So thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you. Thank you for having me,
How
Oge.
are you feeling?
I feel like, oh my God, it is Oge. I want to grow up. Oh, I love it so much. Like, you've really just been consistent and you're just so confident and you're just doing your thing.
Thank
It's so pleasant to see. It really is.
Because that's actually true. I've known you since I was probably about 10.
Yeah.
I remember the time you went to Dubai with your family. So fun, but thank you. And thanks for being here today.
You're
Really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Always.
So yes, I was thinking we could start with, well, obviously I've given a brief introduction, but could you please introduce yourself to the guests and just a brief summary of how you moved from acting, I guess, to now producing?
So my journey into filmmaking started from when I was a little girl, to be honest. Yeah. So I was in every school play, I was in every church play. I was that little kid that just really wanted to be out there, do something. By the time I was in secondary school, I was the president of Press Club, Literary and Debating Society, and French Club. So I didn't know at the time that I was literally doing my future. I just thought, oh, it's my job as the head of this organizations or these clubs to write, produce, and direct plays. Honestly, I didn't even know I was producing and directing plays.
Yeah.
I just knew I had to write it, get my pairs together, get props, get all of those things, and do rehearsals, and then present them on Parents Teachers Day. Or for French Club, we used to have competitions like across the country. I don't know if they still have those things. So have competitions across the country. You would go statewide, and then you go for nationals. I remember once we went to Badagry. I think there's a French village in Badagry, so we went there for the nationals. I think we came third. So we had to produce
so
all these
cool.
plays, yes, in French for the French one, and then in school in English and all that. So I thoroughly enjoyed doing those things. I did not know that that was literally what I was going to do in life, right?
Yeah.
So, but then, when I was in my first year in university, I went to University of Benin. Some of my friends went to Lagos during the holidays, and then they came back to school, and all they could talk about was how they had been in this movie and that movie. We used to call it Waka Pass. You know, when you have a role, a non-speaking role, and you're literally just there, maybe in the party or something. It's like
an extra.
like an extra. Yeah. So they were like, oh, they were in this movie, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? You guys were actually in a movie? They're like, yeah. Like, okay, next holiday I'm gonna go with you guys so that I can see if I can be in a movie as well. And then I did go to Lagos the next vacation. And, we started going for auditions and, trying. And then my first role was actually as a house help.
Oh.
Liz Benson's house help.
Okay.
Liz Benson was the ish,
Okay.
right? I was a house help, and her love interest was Richard Moffett Damijo, RMD. Oh my gosh. I was in a scene with him. Are you kidding? Like, I opened the door and he came in. You couldn't tell me anything. I'm like, I made it. Mama, I made it. I was in a scene with RMD. So and then I went on to be a secretary in another film, and then I got my first lead role. And then I did a couple of lead roles, but then it became problematic because school would resume and I'm stuck in the middle of a movie set and I can't leave.
No.
Right. And on the one hand, I'm like, oh my God, school has resumed. I have to go back to school. On the other hand, I can't just abandon a shoot, right?
What did you study?
Foreign languages. I majored in French.
Okay. Interesting. I feel the fact.
Yeah. So my lecturers became very upset because when I came into uni, I was a straight A student. I was like, they were like, okay, we're going to get a first class out of this one. And then my grades started to slip, obviously, because I wasn't in school all the time. So by my second year, I just decided, something has to give. Is either I drop out or I finish school. And my mom was a single mom. She raised us pretty much by herself. And I didn't want to drop out. Everyone was dropping out at the time. Like actors, it was just cool. Like, just do your thing. But it's like, okay, this industry is still going to be here when I'm done. So let me finish school and then we can pick it up later. And so my third year, when you study foreign languages, they call it the year abroad. So you either go to the French village in Badagry or you go to a French speaking country. So I went to Togo. So I wasn't even in Nigeria for the whole third year anyway. So the whole movie thing just sort of died off. And then final year, I had to be serious and finish school and just focus and not think about anything else. But then I couldn't get back to acting because I got married right after uni. Yeah, it was one of those. So it took me a while. So we left the country as well. So we're in the UK for a while. So it took me about a decade to eventually come back. Yes. So I was the new girl. And to be honest, at the time, nobody really wanted a new girl.
Yeah.
Like everyone had their place. Exactly. All the girls were established. Like the industry wasn't technically looking for a new girl. If it happened, fine, but they weren't like on the look for a new girl. So it was kind of tough trying to get back in the game. You know, I met some of the people I knew from 10 years before. They were like, oh, where have you been? You know, it used to be so good, but yeah, life happened. Some of them weren't doing movies like before, so they really couldn't help much. But then I did 1 or 2 movies, and then the figurine came. I did the figurine, and people were like, oh my gosh, who's this new girl? Oh, she's so this, she's so that. And then I did Anchor Baby in Canada, and people were like, oh yeah, she's really good. So that was how it all started. But I always used to write.
Yeah.
I was still writing, you know, and I'd write stories or or scripts and give them to producers and just say, you know what, give me a role.
Yeah.
Don't pay me for the script. Just give me, I just want to act. You know, sometimes they would give me a good role. Sometimes it's just a regular role. But I'm like, you know what? I just want to act. I just want to show the world that I can do this, you know. So after a while, when I would watch those stories, I would be so disappointed because I write in pictures. So I see what I write when I'm writing, right? By the time I'm watching the film, obviously the script was given to another director to direct. It's not quite what I saw when I was writing. Not to say that it wasn't good. It just wasn't what
interpretation.
exactly, because that's why they say the movie is by the director, because it's from the director's point of view. So I thought to myself, if I'm going to own this, if my stories are going to have my DNA, these films, if they're going to be me, then I have to direct them myself. And the honest truth is, it was a scary thought when I thought about it, because really there were no female directors at the time. It was really Amaka Igwe of blessed memory. Maybe 1 or 2 people had done 1 or 2 things. There were no established female directors to really look up to say, I can do this because she's doing it, right? But I just thought I have to. There's just no way. That's the only way I'm going to be happy with the stories that I write. Because I really enjoyed writing at the time. So I would shadow directors on set when I'm acting. I just always be, when I'm not in a scene, I'm beside the director, looking at the monitor, checking out what they're doing and all of that. And then I decided I'm going to get some formal knowledge on this. So I went to New York Film Academy in New York, and I did a short course in digital filmmaking. Came back and said, let's do it. I'm ready to go. No, I didn't do it. It took me 4 years to make my first film. Obviously, because no one's going to give their money or their script or their whatever to a rookie filmmaker, right? So I knew that I had to do it myself. I had to produce it myself, which means I had to look for the funding and everything to do it, right? So it took me time to put the funds together to make my first film. But once I made my first film, that was it.
It was fine.
That was it. I just kept making film after film after film, and that's why we're here today.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And it's funny that a lot of the things you touched on, I was actually going to ask
Are you
subsequently, yeah, about like French Omoni Oboli TV. Well, I'll get into more of the things. But I guess, or maybe you've already touched on it, but I feel like for a lot of us looking in on the outside, we see our favorite actors and actresses in all these films, and then when they tend to move towards producing, we start to get confused. Like, oh, we thought you were in front of the screen, now you're producing and developing. And I think you already touched on it a bit, but why do you think a lot of you make that switch? Is it, as you said, the whole maybe the story isn't being executed the way you'd have wanted it to?
So I think there'll be different reasons for different people. But one of the things that I strongly believe is people have multiple talents.
Yeah.
Right? We're all multi-talented. The truth is, I don't think there's anyone that God created, and He just said, you know what, that's it, just this one thing, go. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
you decide if you want to harness that part of you or not, right? So I'm one of those people who can do so many things. There is a fear when you're one of those kind of people that can do so many things, because you end up trying everything, right? So you have to pick and choose some of them, of all the many things you know how to do, and decide, okay, I'm going to push this, or I'm going to push this, or I'm going to push that. And so I believe that a lot of actors, you know, they see, you know, directing on set and producing, and they believe they can do it. And why not? Because the truth is, we develop the industry more that way. So there are more people producing, more people directing, and all of that. Then we have more talent, and we can actually help more people, right? So, for instance, if I wasn't producing and directing, I know so many people who would not be who they are today.
Yeah.
Because I decided, I'm an actor. I don't want to harness that part of me. I don't want people to say jack of all trade. Jack of all trade, master of all. Period.
Yeah. Period. Thank you. And on that note of trying to help people, so I'm sure that for a lot of people that might decide they want to enter the producing industry and making their own films, something you touched on even is that there's a big barrier to entry, which I feel is funding.
Yeah.
Right. I think I read a stat that, let's say, a small feature film can cost up to like 20 million naira to produce. And so for people that are just trying to start out, or young Africans that want to maybe produce their own films, what advice would you have for trying to gather, is it funding or just trying to actually execute and bring the film to life? And if you can share any
My story. So let me share my stories. Maybe that will help someone.
Yeah.
So when I decided I was going to produce my own film, because I wanted to direct it, and I didn't, nobody was going to give me their money, right? So I knew I had to come up with the money, and I didn't have it, right? I started trying to reach out to brands and all of that, you know, for sponsorship, product placements and stuff like that. It's a long journey. It's a very long journey, you know. Brands are not just going to jump at you because, you know, you just came out, oh, I'm a filmmaker, I have this film I want to produce. Who are you? Like, you know. I mean, it's not free money. So obviously they want something in return, and you have to be able to prove that you can give them what they want, right? So it took me a while to get to the point where they trusted me enough to part with their funds. And so, like I said, it took me 4 years of knocking on doors. And then, you know how time and chance happens for everyone, right? And just show up, be consistent, keep doing what you're doing, showing up. The most you can do, or the least you can do, is show up every day. Just show up. Okay, so you're this creative, you're doing this, but because there's no money, you're not showing up. Show up. Social media is free.
Exactly.
You know, be on there. Show us what you can do. You know, so I kept showing up every day, and I kept knocking on the doors and hearing a lot of no's. And no's were so resounding. It was crazy, you know. But then when it all came together, it all came together. So I think the turning point for me was, I was talking to an actor, fellow actor, about this script that I'd written that I want to produce. And he goes, oh, isn't that the same story you told me 4 years ago? Ouch. Like, oh, it's like, wait a minute, I have been talking for 4 years. That was when it hits me that I actually left film school 4 years ago. I was like, nah, that's not right. I got to do something. And I said, you know what? I'm going to shoot this film any which way. I'm just going to start, like actually really start, you know. So I started putting a team together. I said, I did not have the money, but I actually started putting the team together and doing all of those things. And, you know, money started to come in, brands started to say yes, when I decided it was really time and I was done talking.
You took it seriously.
Yes. And then when we started the film, we didn't have money to complete it, but we started shooting anyway. Do not try that at home, by the way. But we started shooting anyway. And by the time we finished it, we had more than enough money for post-production.
Amazing.
Yeah. So everything aligned.
People seeing that, oh, she's actually working on this.
Exactly. So I'm like, oh, I've actually started already. You know, do you want to jump on? You know, so everything just aligned and it worked out. Yeah. So the one thing I would say is show up. You know, to create is show up. Use social media. It's free. Our phones are so powerful. If you're a filmmaker or, you can create something, create with your phone. Put it
Yeah.
out there. Let people see what you can do. Just
Yeah.
stop talking.
And I guess it's easier to even put your work out there with things like TikTok. You can
Exactly.
actually get things out
And
quickly.
social media is so weird where if you understand it, you have the right hooks and all of that, you can get viral content.
Yeah.
Like you could literally go to bed,
And wake up.
nobody knows who you are. You wake up and you're famous.
Yeah.
So
That's
there's no reason. It's the easiest time in history for anyone to become who or what they want to be.
Yeah, I think as you alluded to, the issue is just people get scared or people think, okay, I don't have XYZ needed to go
Exactly.
into this. But as you said, just keep showing up and it's not necessary as long as you just show up and try and maximize the tools you have. And we're lucky that we actually have things like social media now and just get a camera and try. So thanks for answering that. And okay, this is a question I really wanted to ask. So I'm sure a lot of people watching this have watched Love in Every Word. I checked just before we came on here that it's now at 27 million views. So honestly, congratulations.
Thank
I watched it and I remember I texted you after the act and I was just like, wow, auntie, this was so good. And I think I liked seeing like an Igbo story or narrative in film and in the culture. So it was just really nice to see. But I wanted to ask, what is the process for you of conceiving an idea? How do you come up with your ideas and then how are you like, okay, this is how we need to execute it. This is what I'm thinking. And then actually seeing it play out.
Okay. So, with Omoni Oboli TV, I don't write all the stories.
Okay.
So we have different writers who write stories, send them to us, and then we read the stories. And I'm so thankful for my background in screenwriting or script writing.
Yeah.
I know a good script from a mile away. Like first 5 scenes, I already know if it's worth my time or if it's going to be worth my audience time or not, right? So I say to people all the time, the reason why Omoni Oboli TV is so successful is because I am the audience.
Yeah.
I genuinely love those types of stories.
Yeah.
Right. So when I'm reading the script, I already know if it's going to make your toes curl, if it's going to give you shivers, if it's going to make you butterflies. I already know because do I feel that way when I'm reading the script? If I feel that way, then yes, I know that that's what my audience would feel. So again, when I'm reading, I'm seeing it play out. So I know. So every script goes through me. I read every single script, take notes for the writers, go on for like the back and forth is wild. We could literally have 20 drafts of one script. And for movies that we churn out that fast, people are wondering exactly how are you doing it, right? So we're on phone calls. I'm sending notes back and forth. We're saying, no, tweak this, change this. There's no way this is gonna work. I love this idea, but we're gonna have to change a lot of things for it to work for our audience. Because at the end of the day, you have to think about the audience. It's all good and fine when you're making film just
But
for
if
you.
people don't want to watch it,
But if they don't want to watch it,
the audience.
so you have to think for the audience. So I didn't write that story, but of course we had a lot of back and forth. I had a lot of back and forth with the writer Umfons. And by the time that movie was shot, the backstory of Love in Every Word is probably more interesting than the film. I kid you not. It was so stressful. It's probably our most stressful shoot to date.
And what was making it stressful?
So the first day of the film,
Yeah.
first day of filming, the house next to where we were shooting, a lady tried to commit suicide. So that halted shoots.
Everything had to stop.
Everything had to stop. So my crew were literally, my cast and crew were the ones trying to tell her not to kill herself and all of that, so they had to deal with all that. The actress, Bam Bam, was distraught, so we were on, I wasn't even in the country, we were on a group call with Lagos State DVR team, the police, ambulance. It was like
everyone.
we're on a call for like hours trying to sort her out, trying to make sure they came to get her, took her to one of the centers and everything. So that halted shoot for the day. By the next day, the actress was so worked up from the day before, emotionally, physically, everything. She fell ill. that was it. We had to cancel the
day
shoot.
2 gone.
So we probably had shot maybe 10 scenes in total. So we had to just halt for her to get better. So it took like maybe 2 weeks or so for us to regroup for that shoot. And then by then, it's the funniest thing ever. The house we were shooting, they had painted it. The exterior of the house had been painted into another color. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on.
Everything was
And then the interior, it was gone. No, they had rented it out. We couldn't use it anymore. So we had to start changing the story. Like we had a spreadsheet. No kidding. We had a spreadsheet. So I was working with the director, the producer. We had a spreadsheet, and we're just changing things. Okay, this was supposed to be shot in the living room. We're going to move it to her bedroom, and her friend is going to come in, because then how did Odogu just come straight into her bedroom? He should have come into the living room. So there were so many things that were changed just so that the story would make sense, because now we didn't have that living room anymore. We didn't have the exterior of the house. We had to use another house. Luckily, we had not shown her bedroom at all. So there were scenes that were not even supposed to be in her bedroom. We had to move it to her bedroom.
we were there.
We had to move some things to the... It was a lot. It was a lot, you know. So, but I mean, in the end, it just worked out perfectly. And the honest truth is, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you know, we did the best film ever. You know, our marketing was out of this world. You know, I'm just going to say God decided to favor us. Like he literally just woke up and said, Omoni, yeah, you've been showing up. I wanna do something for you.
Bless you.
Oh, Bam Bam, you've been showing up. I want to do something for you. Uzo, you've been showing up. I want to do something for you. Oh, all 3 of you aligned. Fantastic. Let's do this. So we went to bed. We woke up, and God has sent His angels all around the world.
I
And
saw you posting.
oh, it was so surreal. I don't know how to explain it to you. Like it felt like I was living in an alternate world, like just watching everything happen.
Because everything was going wrong.
It was amazing.
Oh, amazing.
Honestly, it was amazing.
Well, congrats again.
Thank you.
I love the film. And I'm excited that the second one is coming out.
This one is going to be so good.
Oh, good.
So good. Like we went all out for this one. All out.
Okay. I'm excited. I had also wanted to ask what led you to start producing your films, so on Omani TV, but moving it onto YouTube, because I know that traditionally films are produced and then developed and placed in cinemas, just traditional TV, but what inspired that move to shift onto YouTube? And I would think an issue like piracy would surely be on your mind when you're thinking of, okay, we're streaming, and then what if people pick it up and just start to repost themselves? So what inspired the shift to YouTube, and how do you handle the issues like piracy, for instance?
Yeah. So the honest truth is YouTube is a global platform. You know, cinema is great. I still take movies to the cinema, not as often as before, but I do. The big platforms are fantastic. They give you big money, which is great.
Yeah.
However, there is an audience you can't get from anywhere else that you can get on YouTube. Because guess what? With YouTube, there are no subscriptions. That you don't have to spend money to go anywhere, or you're just in your home. If you have a Gmail,
Yeah, you can.
it's
You
so
don't
low.
need a Gmail.
You don't even need a Gmail. You need a Gmail if you want to start your own channel.
Exactly. You don't even
You
need.
don't even need a Gmail. Anybody with a smartphone can watch, you know, movies on YouTube. So it's a truly, truly, truly global audience. Like when I see the back end, like they watch our movies there. Wow. Okay. You know. So people from different parts of the world are able to watch these films, and it's amazing. Now, there are movies that are made for different platforms, right? So there are movies that are made for big screen. There are movies that are made for, you know, the big platforms or whatever, and what we call them the streaming giants. And then there are made for TV movies, which are the movies that we make for YouTube. However, because I was coming from cinema and also making movies for the streaming giants, I couldn't just come to make just anything on YouTube.
Exactly.
So my movies still have to have a certain standard and a certain quality. So if you read some of the comments on my movies, you'll see people say, "Oh, she brought cinema to YouTube. She brought Netflix to YouTube." You know,
So interesting.
yeah. So I just say I can't insult my audience intelligence. I just don't know how to do it. I can't make a bad film even if I tried. I really can't do it. Not because people are watching it for free, then you're now making it has to still have a certain, yeah. But then with piracy, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
If you release a movie on any of the streaming giants today, within 24 hours, it's out. Oh yeah, it doesn't even take up 24 hours.
24 hours is crazy.
Yeah, it's not even up 24 hours. Like within 24 hours, it's already out. So, it's not peculiar to any platform, right? I would say, to be honest, maybe cinemas hold it more than every other platform, right? I've not released a movie in the cinemas and saw it anywhere ever before it went on the streaming giants or anywhere else, right? Then so digital piracy is a big deal. It is so crazy. Like, people are watching my movies on TV in Ghana.
It's like, how?
I'm like, I don't get it. Why do you have it? We don't have a deal. You didn't talk to me. Like, I released my movie on YouTube, and the next day, actually same day sometimes, you're already showing it on TV in Ghana. That's wild, But then it can be very bothersome when you own your stuff, because you just feel like someone is stealing from you.
Yeah.
Right?
I was gonna say, has it ever made you seriously reconsider, I guess, being here and trying to produce your films if they're always just being taken?
Yeah, so I decided I was going to focus on my work. You know what I mean? So I'm a firm believer that where focus goes, energy flows. Right. So if I'm going to focus on the pirates and what they're doing to me and how bad I feel about it and all of that, that's where all my energy is going to go. And then I can't really do the work that I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to focus and do my work and just pretend that these people don't exist.
Yeah.
I just make the most of what I'm doing. Right. Does it hurt? Yes, it does. But it is what it is. Governments just have to do better.
Yeah, to help creatives.
Exactly. Because it's not a fight you can take on personally.
Yeah.
You just all you do is talk. Really.
Fair enough. Thank you for explaining that, the issue of piracy. And yeah, it definitely is the role of governments to try and make it better for creatives.
Absolutely.
So I'm hoping they do that. I wanted to ask about, so back to Omoni TV. I know I was seeing that there's English speaking Omoni TV and then French Omoni TV. And you already spoke about how you even studied French at university. So I'm seeing the link there. But I'm thinking you must have put on your business cap, and I'm sure you thought, okay, let me not try and just integrate or infiltrate into the English speaking industry, but more so like Francophone as well. And how have you found that French Omoni TV does? And do you see that you're still able to penetrate that audience?
Yeah. So honestly, the reason why we decided to start the French channel is because a lot of our viewers, we have a lot of French speaking fans across the world, and they watch it in English because they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But then they have to use YouTube subtitles and just try to figure it out and all of that. But then I felt like they were largely marginalized. So I just thought, why not do it for them? It's just going to cost me a little extra to dub it into French. Because it's the same movie, we're just dubbing it into French, right? And then put it on a French channel. So that way they know to just go there to watch the movies. And it's doing really well. They love it. They're excited about it. We just keep growing the channel for them.
Yeah. So exciting. Yeah, I definitely need to try and watch some of it because say for years that I want to start speaking French.
Yeah, so for people who want to learn French too, so exactly.
Guys, try that. Okay. And I wanted to ask about your latest film as of this time of filming. Sorry, as of this time of recording. Then I Found You. So I watched it and I was really touched by it. Especially seeing the role of, I guess, the church and the role of that God played in it. And I know when you tend to post about your films, I remember specifically Loving Every Word to you were like, God definitely helped with this. As you even told us now that God just had favor upon you. And so I wanted to ask, what does the role of your faith perhaps have in your career? So in acting, but also in when you've produced films, just how do you feel that influences your creative process?
So at the end of the day, I think God is at the center of all of it. I certainly would not be where I am right now without him. It's not even possible. So sometimes I look at myself and, the Bible says it's not of him who wills or of him who runs, but of God who shows mercy. And I think I'm not the best. I think I'm the best. Yeah. Yeah. So let's just leave that. But I'm not the hardest worker.
Yeah.
Right. But God decided, I just want to favor this person. I said to people, I'm like, I'm a small town girl.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up with a single mom. My mom was a teacher. It's not, I'm like a small town girl. Like, who would have thought that I would be globally recognized? Like, I walk into places and people are literally falling all over themselves. Like, how?
That is just crazy.
If not for God. Because the truth is, I'm not the only one who tried to be an actor. I'm not the only one who tried to be a producer. I'm not the only one who tried to be a director. So many people tried the same time I did. But where are they? Right? So you have to recognize the place of God in all of it. He's at the center of everything. I say to people all the time, I can't even take any of the glory. I really can't.
Yeah.
There's no world in which I will take any of the glory. I do my work, don't get me wrong. I do my work. I show up as my best self, right? But I'm not the only one doing my work and showing up,
Yeah.
right? So there's still that place where God decides. It's not because you're amazing. It's not because you're even the holiest. I just want to favor you.
Yeah.
You know how someone would say, maybe somewhere in my youth or childhood I did something good. I don't know that I did anything good. I honestly don't know that I did anything good. I think God just says, you know what? I like her. Let's just show her some favor and mercy, right? Yeah.
And I guess, as you said, you consistently show up. Like, you go to things, as you said, even when maybe you weren't paid at times, like you're just shadowing.
Yep.
And so I feel like he probably just has rewarded your consistency and your hard work. And I think that's probably something even people can take away from this, that it's just good to keep showing up. And it might not even seem like you're going to see the fruits immediately. Because, as you said, when you first started out, you took a 10-year break because you had to like relocate and whatnot. And then you come back and then you're acting, and then it takes you about 4 years before you're finally able to produce your first film. And so that, I'm even inspired. Just that diligence that you showed was definitely the whole God saying, okay, let me favor her.
Yeah.
So that's really touching to hear.
Yeah. Just show up. Like that's the least you can do. Show up every single day. Like, even for people who don't have a platform yet or don't have where they can showcase their work. Again, I'm going back to social media. Show up there every day.
Yeah.
Every day. You don't even know who's watching. Sometimes people are in my DMs. Oh, I want to be an actor. I want you to do this. Like, I get at least 100 of such DMs every single day. Every day. And sometimes I actually go to their profile
and see, okay, what do you have here?
Nothing on your profile shows that you are an actor or you're even trying to be an actor. There's no monologue. There is absolutely nothing on your page that shows that you're trying to be an actor. Wait, am I supposed to cast you out of the blues?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just supposed to say, you know what? This person sounds nice. Cast them. No, it doesn't work that way. I have to see something. And then sometimes you're not even in my DM and I'm not even looking for you. I come across you and I'm like, oh, okay. This person is, and I send it to my producers. I'm like, cast this person. That's it. Sometimes they don't even know I sent them.
Yeah.
But because they were showing up, they were consistent. The lady in Love in Every Word, Bam Bam.
Bam Bam, yeah.
She slid into my DM last year. Yep. She's like, oh, Mama, I'd love to work with you, blah, blah, blah. And I had seen her in something before now, but didn't even think about her again, right? But I'd seen her in something, so which means she had been showing up, right? And then when she sent me, I'm like, oh, sure, I'd send you something. I actually like your acting. Yeah, sure, let's do something. That same week, we gave her first role.
Crazy.
And she just kept being in our movies. That was not her first film on our platform. She just kept being in our movies. And you know what? Last year, our first end of year party, because the channel is going to be 2 at the end of this year. Our first end of year party, she came, and someone else won the award for the highest movie, the movie with the highest views on the platform, right? But the person wasn't there. So she picked up the award for the person. So I was like, oh, just help to pick up the award. Since you're an actor yourself and your colleague is not here, just help to pick up the award. So she came on stage. She didn't even want to talk. I'm like, say something, say something, say something. Right? This year, she's picking up the award.
For herself. Which is so crazy.
Which is, you see, God just has a way he does. Like, he battles me sometimes.
Yeah, and that's such a big lesson to take away, that just for young Africans trying to enter, even if it's not the creative sector, but just be consistent and show up, because you never know. It's like a book I was reading, Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, but like you never know when the opportunity might present itself, but you have to be ready.
Be prepared. Stay ready. Stay ready.
Thank you. Okay, and then I have a final question. What direction do you see Nollywood going in the next 5 or 10 years? Nollywood is a booming industry. It was second after Hollywood, I believe. And so where do you think it's going? Do you foresee perhaps YouTube overtaking traditional cinema, or maybe even things like TikTok now, short form films?
Yeah. So I think we're all going to coexist, right? I think that the cinema is never going to die, obviously. It's not just about the movies that go to the cinema. It's a culture thing. It's, it's a community thing. Community is always going to be there. Man was made for community. I believe that when God said it's not good for man to be alone, he was talking about community, right? So we will always want to watch films with other people. It's fun. I mean, you can watch a film on your phone, you can watch a film on your laptop or your screen at home, but watching a movie at the cinema, especially in Nigeria, so fun. Every time I watch a movie outside of Nigeria, at the cinema outside of Nigeria, I'm always holding myself back, because you know how those white people will give you eye.
Why are you making noise?
They will literally say, shh. Like, this is not how I watch film in my country. We are noisy. We talk. We laugh together. You go to the cinema in Nigeria, you don't even know the person sitting next to you, and you're laughing. Like, can you imagine?
Or like there's clapping, something like that.
I know, it's so much fun. So I don't think that's going anywhere, which is great, right? We don't want to kill any platform, right? So we're all going to coexist. There's going to be the movies on big screen, on the giants, all the streaming platforms are even coming up now.
Yeah.
Right? So those ones will be there. YouTube is not going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, it's been there for decades, so of course there'll still be the movies. But I feel like there's going to be a shift. I just don't know what it is. I can't sit here and tell you, okay, this is going to happen. But I feel like God is going to do something in Nollywood that we haven't seen before. Right? It's happened with music.
Yeah, definitely.
Nollywood is going to go truly global in a big way. Not just people watching our movies all over the world, but like big global collaborations, like major stuff. I know it's going to happen within the next 5-10 years for sure.
Thank you so much for this conversation, Auntie.
You're welcome.
This is African Everywhere Conversations with Oge, and I'm your host, Oge Elumelu. Thanks so much for listening, and please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, as well as listen on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Thanks so much.